Whether you're seeking out transgender women to date or someone you're already involved with just happens to be transgender, watch this video from beginning to end and I can promise you, you will have much better results when talking with transgender women. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Victoria. I am a 22-year-old woman of transgender experience and I make LGBT content here on YouTube. If that's your thing, click that subscribe button down below and click the bell so you're notified whenever I make a new video. So I get comments on every single one of my videos from cisgender men that are asking my advice when it comes to dating transgender women, and I get it. We are beautiful, we're unique, you might be cool and different. But before any of that, we are real people with real emotions just like you. This is like my third or fourth time filming this video because every time that I go to film it, I feel like I leave something out or I don't stress enough the importance of treating transgender people with dignity and respect. Being involved with and attracted to transgender women comes with its own set of difficulties, just like dating anybody else from any other walk of life. And that's why you need me, a trans woman, to tell you how to go about it. Whether you're seeking out transgender women to date or someone you're already involved with just happens to be transgender, watch this video from beginning to end and I can promise you, you will have much better results when talking with transgender women. Firstly, I want to address something that I know is going to be in the comments. Even after addressing it, there's going to be a whole war in the comments. Go ahead and check it out. I know how the internet works. But this question is, does it make a man gay if he's attracted to transgender women? Simply put, the answer to that question is absolutely not. I have had this discussion with countless straight men that I have dated, and that kind of discomfort and insecurity subsides over time should you choose to pursue this transgender person. But no, it doesn't make you gay at all. If you are attracted to a trans person, you are looking at their, take me for example, I have long hair, I have, a femme way about me. I have a feminine personality and energy, pretty makeup, girly clothes, as girly as it gets, I guess, but you're attracted to the femininity. You're not attracted to a man, and I have nothing to offer to a gay man. This might take some time for some people to wrap their heads around, but especially in today's day and age, people don't care as much what's between your legs as long as they have a real connection with you. So it's not that uncommon that perfectly straight men end up with transgender women. Go ahead and ask my Rolodex of exes. If this is a serious worry for you, if this is something that you really need to work through, you can by all means bring it up to the trans person that you're talking to. Just be aware that we have had this conversation a million times and it does get tiring having to defend your validity as a woman to somebody that is trying to date you. The most important thing to remember when it comes to dating transgender women is that we are women and we want to be treated as such. We want to be treated kindly, with respect. We, want to be your girlfriends eventually. We want to be taken out. If you're someone that is going to be afraid to bring us out or be seen in public with us, please don't waste our time by filling our inbox. This leads me into the term chaser. So you might have heard this term before, you might have been called it yourself. A chaser, shortened from tranny chaser, is a cis man who is obsessed with getting with mostly preoperative trans women, specifically for their genitalia. Now, there's nothing wrong with being curious, wanting to explore your own sexuality and the depth and width of your own sexual experience, but just know that that kind of fetish is revolving around one thing in particular that most, not all, but most trans women, including myself, have a lot of dysphoria and insecurity and trauma associated with. So just be aware that when you are thirsting after a trans woman for her genitalia, that might not sit well with us. One mistake that I see a lot of men making is that their only interactions with trans people is through pornography. And don't get me wrong, trans people have been an integral part of the sex work industry for decades and decades and has brought it to where they are now. And sex work has certainly provided a platform for countless trans women like, Trace Lissette. But that same industry is reproducing this idea that trans women are chicks with dicks or traps or tricking men into things. And that is the same rhetoric that is actively killing us. Which, by the way, it is 2020. All these men that are saying, I didn't know she was transgender and then freaking out and killing her, they knew what the hell is up. They know what is up. It is 2020. These men are not being fooled by these girls. I'm not saying that to sound like I'm joking, because I'm not at all. This is an incredibly serious manner. So please remember that this is a very delicate topic for us. If you're sliding into a trans girl's DMs asking her about her genitals, that is a one-way ticket to getting blocked. I still get chasers all the time messaging me asking, you know, how big is it, or describing some crazy sexual fantasy with trans people. And I'm like, I don't even have a penis anymore. You have to treat trans women with the same respect that you would give anybody else, whether it's your mom or your aunt or your sister or your female best friend. We want that same respect, and we deserve that same respect. We do not want to open our messages and see people harassing us. When it comes to asking us questions about our trans experience, it's not so much what you say, but it's how you say it. Remember that upon meeting new people, our transgender existence is one of the first things that's brought up. And while a lot of us are very open and want to talk and educate people like I do, which is the point of my whole YouTube channel, a lot of people are less comfortable with that, or are just tired, because frankly, it's a private part of our medical history. I come on this channel every week and I discuss LGBT topics. Aside from that, being trans is not really a big part of my life anymore. You know, I go grocery shopping, I love to cook, I take care of my boyfriend, I draw. There's a lot of just boring things about me, and I also just happen to be transgender. So please ask about our interests, ask about, you know, just our history and our likes outside of just being transgender. Get to know us as women, as people, as friends, and I can promise you that when the time comes for you to ask us more personal questions, we are far less likely to be offended, because we know you're just genuinely curious. Some of you might only be interested in dating a transgender person if they're only of a certain surgical status. You might only be comfortable if she had bottom surgery, or you might prefer if she didn't. That's fine either way, but when you ask this, it has to be worded properly. Hi guys, so I was editing and I wanted to come on here and say I don't want to sound like I'm saying trans women are overly emotional or super sensitive, because that's not true, even though. But yeah, I am not easily offended, neither are a lot of girls. I just wanted to let you know how to go about it. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you don't want to offend a trans person. So yeah, anyway, back to the video. This question should only come up if you are sure that you are likely to be physically, sexually involved with this person. Otherwise, it is literally none of your business. But if you say,
"Hey baby, how big is that schlong?"
that is gonna get you slapped, along with,
"Hey, I know you're trans, but like, are you a real girl? Like, do you have your boy parts still?"
These are both questions that I have actually been asked, and these are ways not to approach a trans woman. Instead, maybe try,
"Hey, thank you so much for disclosing your gender identity with me. Would you mind if I ask you some questions involving your physical transition? No pressure if not, I know it's a sensitive topic."
Why yes, I would love to engage in an in-depth conversation about my medical history.
Okay, it might not go exactly like that, but you know what I mean. You attract more ants with honey.
I say something. You like jazz?
Educating yourself on the transgender experience is key to empathizing with a trans person. In 2020 alone, the Human Rights Campaign reported that over 26 transgender people have been murdered in the United States. These deaths go under the radar. No one's talking about them. But every day, I'm afraid for my life and the life of my sisters. So please understand, if we take a while to open up to you, we take a while to disclose all of our medical history and our past to you, because that can save our life. Every trans person is different. Some people hate their genitalia, some people love it, some people are totally indifferent. Other people have already had surgery, like myself, and have the same genitalia as any other woman. So before you engage with a transgender woman, it's important that you ask yourself these questions. Would you still love her if she didn't want any surgery? Would you love her if, you know, she didn't have that extra part? What attracts you to trans women over cis women if we had the same genitalia? Would you still love your cis girlfriend if she woke up one day and had the opposite genitalia? How would you feel about your partner making physical advancements within their transition? These are all questions that can and should arise in your head, and you should think about how you feel about them before you dive headfirst into a relationship with a trans woman. Whenever somebody asks what the number one most important trait is for me for a partner, I always say patience. Patience is an incredibly important value for anybody, but especially if you're dealing with the transgender community. This is because the dysphoria is a real thing. Dysphoria affects every trans person out there, every transsexual out there at least, and it is varying for every person. Some people have extremely bad dysphoria, some people have hardly any dysphoria, but in my experience, it never fully goes away. It's something that I have treated and has gotten a lot better, but it certainly still affects my everyday life. So don't go into it expecting that once she gets surgery, she's gonna be a-okay and she's no longer trans. That's not exactly how it works. However, before I had bottom surgery, there would be times when I would have sex and it would be totally fine and I wouldn't really think that much about it. And then there would be other times where I would have sex and I would have to stop because I was sobbing. I was so uncomfortable. I don't experience that anymore, but just be aware that things like sex can be a little hazy with different trans people, and it's definitely case dependent. Even after years of hormones and surgeries and growing my hair out and whatever, I still have days where I'm just super dysphoric. Like, maybe I'm going somewhere as arbitrary as the market, the supermarket, and I start off just trying to go out like a normal person, throw on some mascara and go out the door, but I end up putting on a full face of makeup and I change my outfit like 6 times, and then I feel ugly, and then I take all my makeup off, and then I go out with a hoodie and no makeup on. I am lucky enough to have an incredibly calm, understanding, and patient boyfriend. He will sit with me when I'm feeling dysphoric and lets me have my space when I need it. Be aware that certain settings and situations might make us feel uncomfortable or dysphoric. For example, going to the beach or a pool party might incite a crazy amount of dysphoria in somebody because they haven't had surgeries and they're concerned about how they're gonna look in a bathing suit. We might take forever to get ready. We might wear more makeup on one day. We might never want you to touch our face. We might be nervous meeting your friends. All of these situations might arise, and if you meet them with patience and acceptance, then it's just gonna go so much more smoothly for everybody involved, I promise. Overall, if you are wondering how to get involved with a trans woman, the most important thing to remember is that trans women are what?
Women!
Yes, trans women are women and we just want to be treated as such. Please remember to treat everybody, whether they're trans or not, with dignity and respect. Do not flood our comment section or inbox with comments and questions about our genitals. That will absolutely lead to you getting blocked. Trans women go through a life experience that most people could never even imagine. Getting to know us on a romantic or platonic level can and will add value to your life. Educate yourself on transgender struggles throughout history and into today. We are more likely to be brave, more outwardly confident, more empathetic than others because of what we've been through. So give us time, we will open up to you, and we can't wait to open up your mind and the minds of your friends and family. You don't have to walk on eggshells, but be kind, be courteous, and flirt a little like you would with any other girl. Your messages are so much more likely to stick out to us if you're treating us with respect, because our inboxes are flooded with chasers, I can promise. If you'd like to learn more about the transgender experience, there are all sorts of resources out there for you on YouTube, including my own channel. If you're interested, I have a ton of links about my experience on my channel, so go click it and check it out. There are all sorts of other trans influencers like Trace Lissette, Angelica Ross, or Janet Mock. Those are just a couple of my all-time idols. I highly recommend you check them out. They have a lot of great things to say. Overall, to the men that comment on every single one of my videos and on every other trans YouTuber's videos saying, what is your advice to talking to trans women? My advice is to talk to us like humans. All right, I hope you all liked this video. I hope it helped you, and I hope that this will decrease the chasers that are in my inbox and in the inboxes of trans women everywhere. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps out my channel, and share it with whoever can benefit from it. Click subscribe if you're interested in joining the family, making videos every Wednesday. I will link all of my social media in the description box below, as well as my Amazon merch, Redbubble, and Teespring, where you can go and check out all of my LGBT merch that I've made just for you. And until I see you all next week, thank you so much. Remember to treat everybody with dignity and respect. Stay safe out there, and I love you. Bye.